Welcome to the show where stories unfold.
Let's go.
People doing big things, breaking the mold. They're changing the game, making waves every day.
Big move.
Shining bright with the work that is right.
Shine on.
This is Breaking the Silence with Nikki
Nikki Nicole in the building.
Unleash your inner voice and make some
Turn
noise.
up. Welcome to the Breaking the Silence podcast with Arthur and Nikki Nicole. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Tell your cousin, tell your friend, tell your neighbor to come over here and break the silence with Arthur and Nikki Nicole. Welcome to another powerful episode. Sit back and relax. Enjoy the conversation.
Hello, everybody. I just decided to go live for just a second before the preparation episode releases at 7 p.m. So y'all got to make sure y'all tune in at 7 p.m. for another episode of the Preparation Podcast. This is season 2, y'all. Season 2. We're getting a little bit more transparent on the journey. So I hope y'all doing okay. This is May. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. And, I'm just trying to make it my business this month to check on the people I love and to check on everybody that's connected to Breaking the Silence and me to make sure y'all are okay. So let me open up by telling y'all a story. Okay. Today's episode is, would the old you be proud today? Right? So let me tell you a story. It was around 1985. Yeah, that was a long time ago, right? That was when the music was good, right? And we had Prince and we had Michael Jackson. We had all these great artists in this era, like, ooh, killing it. All right, so there was this little girl. She was about 5 years old. And all she wanted was friends. But for some reason, she wasn't good enough. She wore glasses. She was the ugly duckling. She was nerdy. She was short. She was really quiet. She always sat in the back of the classroom just observing quietly at everybody, not saying a word. She was afraid to come out of her shell. She was afraid to speak up. She was afraid to even show up for herself. Surprise, surprise. That little girl was me. Now let's fast forward. Years later, a lot of years later, I got behind this mic and started talking to you. Not only that, I actually got on a stage and performed for the very first time in front of people. The room might have been small in numbers, but to me it was big. It was big. So, with that being said, you can do whatever you want to do in this lifetime. You can. It might take a while, but one day you will get there. Because in those moments, I realized that, you know what? That little girl wasn't scared anymore. That little girl was ready to unleash her inner voice. So let me ask you, who were you before the world got heavy? That's a heavy question, right? Before the heartbreak, before the letdowns, before people told you no, before fear decided to move in, the old you, the you that dared to dream, that didn't care, who didn't believe in them. They didn't need a title, a following, or permission. They just believed. Who were you? That version of you that is still inside, waiting, watching, hoping you haven't forgotten why you started. But let's be real though. Life always, life isn't always Instagram worthy, right? Sometimes it's survival mode. Sometimes we're just out here just trying to survive, right? And sometimes we cry in our cars before we walk into work. Sometimes we walk around pretending, we're okay because everyone depends on you to be okay. But guess what? You're still here. You didn't quit. You didn't give up when it would have been easier to just disappear. But that's power. The old you might not recognize your wardrobe or your address, but they recognize your fight. They recognize your fight. And we gotta keep going, even in the midst of storms, even in the midst of the chaos. We cannot let life take over and tell us that we can't do anything. You know what I mean? We have to trust the process. And that's easy to say, more easy to say than done, right? But you gotta trust the process. You gotta trust that you know what, I'm gonna get through this. My younger self is looking at me. My future self is looking at me. And if they wouldn't be proud yet, don't worry. Don't worry if they're not proud yet. That's not shame. That's just a reminder, a call forward between who you are and who you were and who you are becoming, right? Who you are becoming. So would your old you be proud of you today? Ask yourself that question. It's where you outgrow some people. Now, when the older you get, you outgrow people, you unlearn things, and you finally learn to start clapping for who? Yourself. Finally. So if you're out there, you feel stuck, confused, maybe unsure, start congratulating yourself. Start patting yourself on the back because you're in the middle of your becoming. You're in the messy middle. But messes lead to miracles. Messes lead to success. Messes lead to you being the greatest. And that's okay. You have to start being okay with yourself. And it took me a long time. It really took me a long time to be okay with me. It really did. It took me a long time to be okay with who I am. Honestly. What would the old you say if they saw you right now? Would they cry because you're surviving what they were afraid of? Would they scream with joy because you finally left that relationship they were too scared to walk away from? Would they whisper and say, I knew you were a fighter? I knew it. I knew it was in you the whole time. Or would they be disappointed that you dimmed your light just to fit in? Whatever that reaction is, know this. It's not too late to rewrite the next chapter of your life. It's not too late to become someone they cheer for. It's not. People may have handed you that pain, but healing is in your hands. They may have broken your heart, but you get to build a stronger one, right? Life might have knocked you down, but you get to decide how long you stay there. Your comeback doesn't start when things are perfect. It starts the moment you decide to stop making excuses for staying where you're at and staying in the position that you're in. Because staying stuck isn't honoring the old you, it's betraying them. But I want to leave you with this message because I got to get on out of here so y'all can watch the preparation episode at 7 p.m. Yeah, I'm keep saying that. The next episode of preparation at 7 p.m. Y'all make sure y'all tune in on the preparation podcast page. But I want to leave you with this. Imagine years from now, your life comes to an end. At your funeral, someone stands up to speak, right? But it's not your spouse, it's not your friend, it's not your child, it's nobody that's related to you or nobody that even know you at that moment. That's what everybody look around and be like, who is that? Who is that? But it's the old you. That little dreamer, that believer, that wounded warrior. And they walk straight to the front and they say either one or two things. They forgot about me. They gave up. I died long before their body did. Or they remembered. They honored me. They became everything I believed I could be and more. Every day you wake up, you're rewriting your story. You're writing another chapter in your life. You're writing one of those eulogies. Either they forgot about me, they gave up before their body did, or they remembered, they honored me, they became everything I believed we could be and more. Which eulogy will you choose? Because in the end, you're not just living for today, you're living to fulfill the promise you once whispered when no one else believed in you. No one else. Make the old you proud because they didn't just survive everything for you to settle. They didn't. Hey sis, you coming in on the end of my moment, boy. I'm about to get on out of here. I ain't lying. But they didn't just survive everything for you to settle. They want you to be better than you were yesterday. So I'm asking you again, which eulogy will the old you be saying at your funeral? Will they be saying they forgot about me? They gave up? I died long before the body did? Or will they be saying they remembered, they honored me, they became everything I believed we could be and more? So as you go through your day, remind yourself that you're writing one of those eulogies for your life. But the question I have for you is, which one will it be? Start living your life better than you did the day before. Start utilizing your 24 hours to be better than you were yesterday. I opened up the story about that little girl. That little girl was me. But guess what? I finally stepped out of those shadows and started talking and speaking and observing them. Stop being quiet and scared of everything. Because I said fear, man, fear was all over me. All over me, all on my clothes, in my shoes, everywhere. And once you say fear, come on, man, it's time to go. Here's your 30-day notice. You've been evicted. It's time. Once you start saying that to fear, you start rewriting your eulogy. You start stepping into the person that you are and start knowing who you are. So before I get out of here, y'all put in the comments, what eulogy are you writing today for your old you? When you look around and that old you is coming up to that podium and to talk about you and the life and the legacy that you're living, what is the old you going to say to the crowd about you? Are they going to say you forgot about them? Or are they going to say, yes, we did it. Well done. Start living your life today as if it's your last day. Start living your life as if tomorrow don't matter. And when you start doing that, guess what? You'll see your life start to shifting to everything that you want in your life. And all you can do is just grab everything and thank God that you and him made it there. So I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all tune in at 7 p.m. for the next episode of the Preparation Podcast. It's May. Check on the people that you love. Mental health is real. People are going through, and people need somebody to say, you know what, you're doing great. I'm proud of you. Keep going. Because life will knock you down sometimes where you can't even get up. And then when you get up, you all bruised up and you trying to figure out how you going to make it through. So check on your people. Check on your people. So until next time, stay strong, y'all. Stay inspired. Stay working on you so you can be the better you for tomorrow. Later. Thanks for watching another episode of Breaking the Silence. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.
Breaking the Silence podcast. What can I say? The questions were thought-provoking. I felt like my business was being promoted the way that it should have been. I enjoyed my time. The authenticity was top tier. I was comfortable. I was apprehensive, like I was a little bit scared, I ain't gonna lie. But it all dissipated the moment that we went live. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the representation of your brand. And I could feel the genuineness. That's all I can keep saying is the genuineness. And I got fed while I was on there. I got some tips. And that's always a beauty when you can walk away from anything and you can learn something while you're trying to represent yourself at the same time. I would love to be back on, and I would definitely recommend this podcast and author Nikki to others. This is a brand to go thumbs up for. Thank you once again, and y'all have a good day.